Hey everybody, welcome to our video hop. I hope you enjoy the project that I'm going to share with you today. So this journal page I had already started, and it had some leftover dilution spray on it from a stencil, and I covered it with just paint covered pieces of deli paper, and then I went over that with some gesso and rubbed the circles out through my circle stencil. Then I took some Mod Podge and I added a bunch of just the little circles from a hole punch, and that's where all those little itty bitty circles are from. And I just gathered a bunch of different colors of paint that were already present in the piece of deli paper that I had placed down. And this is just some Dilutions paint. I'm rubbing it around with my hands. And I did put on some barrier cream before starting this process. This is some golden heavy body paint, and I scraped it around with a business card and didn't really like that, and so I decided to use some of the same color but the golden fluid acrylics, and you can see how much more that spread around. And the paint's still wet, so I'm taking a stencil and rubbing some of the paint off through with the stencil with a baby wipe. And this is fun because you can see the background, you can see some of the colors, you can see the little hole punchies that are on there a little bit better. And then I'm just rubbing that extra paint in my Journaling by Fives journal. And I'm just gonna dry this really well with the heat gun. I don't want any of the colors to bleed together, cause it to muddy up. So I like to dry my pages in between different colors. And that just helps keep the colors vibrant and keeps things from muddying up together. I love using these little hole punch circles on my projects. It creates so much fun texture, and it'll just come up more and more as I add more colors of paint. And this is more Dilutions paint. And once again, I'm just using a stencil with a baby wipe and wiping some of the paint away. This is a really fun way to build up layers on your pages using lots of different colors. And once again, I'm going to dry that green paint because I don't want anything to muddy up. And I'm still really not kind of sure what colors I'm going to add after each one, so it just helps keep my colors fresh and bright and keeps things from turning brown. So I decided it needed maybe some blue, and this is some Dr. P.H. Martin's Radiant Concentrated Watercolors, and I just dropped a few drops around there and squirted it with some water, and I'm just shaking the journal around to let that paint work its way into all of the different wrinkles from the deli paper and around the raised up areas of the hole punches, the hole punch circles. And these watercolors dry lighter than they are when they're wet, so I'm just adding a little bit more of the blue watercolor just to darken it up in some areas. And just shaking it around to move the paint around just kind of wherever it decides that it likes to go. And I'm going to go ahead and dry that with my heat gun. And this page is actually in a journal where I've been scraping leftover paint in for quite a while. I think I've had this journal for well over a year. It's a Strathmore visual journal, and I just rub in extra paint. So a lot of these pages are paint covered with just, oh my goodness, you wouldn't believe the stuff that's on them. And now I'm just using a black Stays-On ink pad, and I'm rubbing around the edges, and I'm also rubbing across the top of the page lightly, and it is bringing up all of those wrinkles and the circles. And here I'm just showing you the difference that makes by putting the black ink across the top of the page. It's really pulling up the hole punch circles and the wrinkles from the deli paper. And I usually dry the Stays-On ink with my heat gun just because I don't want to smear it, and it just helps set the ink a little bit better. Now I'm just kind of trying to decide if it needs anything else, if I need to add anything, if I'm liking how it is. But this journal I like it because I just kind of, if I don't really know what to do, I just open up a page and start messing around, and it's just it's a fun place for me to work. And I decided, you know, it needed some neon pink because I'm really into working with neon paints right now. So I just took some Americana pink neon paint and thinned it with a little bit of water, and I'm using a fan brush to put some nice splatters all around the page. And that leftover neon paint, I am going to take it and wipe it on a page in my Journaling by Fives journal. I don't like wasting any paint, so I put my leftover paint in my Journaling by Fives journal, or on a page in the journal that I'm working on right now. That's where all those leftover paint goes. It goes in that journal. So now I think this is just ready for some words. I grabbed the drawer out of my clipped words drawers, and you know, right there on top was one that I thought would work perfect, and so I just decided to use that one, and I'm going to glue it down. My little guy is helping me right now, and he was looking at my dirty hands, so we were discussing how messy I get when I work. He likes to help me out, so he was going to hold the page down for me while I glued down this phrase that I had clipped from a magazine. And I'm just using some tacky glue to put that down, and then I am going to use my black Stabilo alt pencil to draw around the edges of the clipped words, and then I'm going to go around that gently with a water brush. And that really just pulls out the words, and it just kind of helps it settle into the page so it doesn't look like it's just stuck on top of the page. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you be sure to visit all of the videos that all the other YouTubers are sharing today. And it's just a great opportunity to help some of these smaller YouTube channels get noticed, so please be sure to visit them. I know that you'll enjoy what you see. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye.